Hello Stampers, Michelle Zindorf here, and I have a pretty little card for you today. We're going to be making a mountain range in our card, and I'm going to show you how simple it is just to do this background. And you can use any tree. I'm using this beautiful tree that's in the Delicate Forest stamp set from Stampin' Up. This has some lovely images that are great for silhouettes. Like, we made this tree a silhouette, so we didn't have to do any coloring or anything like that. So it makes such a simple card. So I'm going to get going on this, and we're going to be using a basic white panel for our main panel here. And this panel is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. You can find all the dimensions for this card down below this video. Just click more under the description and you'll see all of that linked there, along with the product links that'll take you directly to my online store where you can shop with me 24/7 for the products that I use today. So we're going to start with Balmy Blue ink. I just love this blue just because it just reminds me of Ohio skies. A lot of times we don't get that real turquoise blue sky. We have more of this balmy blue color. So that's one of the ones that I like to use. Now I'm going to use a blending brush for this. And I'm just going to blend this on my cardstock here. I start with basic white instead of a balmy blue piece of cardstock, just so that I get like a base color down for my ink. So I'm going all the way to the bottom of this cardstock, and that gives me my sky color plus, like I said, it gives me a base coat. And I like to blend my colors together, so that helps with that also. So there was our balmy blue for our sky. Now we're going to still need our balmy blue, but I'm going to take a post-it note here. Now I have, these post-it notes are 3 by 5. They're pretty handy because you can do quite a bit with them. This piece of cardstock is 3 1/4 wide. So a regular post-it note is only 3 inches wide. So I like these longer post-it notes that are 5 inch. Now I'm going to make a pretty kind of pointed like mountain here. I think I like that shape. Now that you're never going to get 2 cards that look exactly alike just because you're tearing these pieces of paper to make your mountain scene in here. I'm going to come down about 1 inch from the top here for the peak of my little mountain here. I'm going to move it over just a little bit. I don't like to have like mountains like peak right in the center of the cardstock. I like them either of one side to the other a little bit more. So we're going to take our balmy blue here again, and since we're layering this on top of balmy blue, it's going to be darker, of course. I'm just kind of filling in that shape there, holding down my piece of post-it note here as I'm doing this. And I'm going to come down about 1/2 inch below that, so I have plenty of color there for my next mountain to come in. So that was balmy blue. Now I'm going to take this post-it note off, and you'll see that I have a mountain shape. So we're done with that one. We're going to grab us another post-it note here. And this time I want to rip a couple mountain shapes in here. I'm just going to do lower ones. There we go. And I'm going to put it so that part of my mountain shape is like at the corners of these, the mountain that we already put in. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to go to a different color here. And we're going to use Lost Lagoon for this second part of our range here. And again, I'm holding that post-it note down, and I'm adding some of this Lost Lagoon in here. You don't have to get really dark with it, and actually you can like peek underneath to see how much color you have in there. Sometimes a little lighter mountain range is better than a real stark one. So I'm going to leave this kind of light. There's my second part. All right, we just need one more post-it note ripped here. And let's see. anytime you rip little jagged parts in your Post-it notes, they're always going to be different. So I'm going to add that. Let's come down a little bit here. Let's add it right about there. And I'm going to change colors. That was Lost Lagoon that we did the last one in. We're going to go a little darker here, and we're going to go Misty Moonlight. Grab a blending brush. And we're going to add that in. And you can come all the way to the bottom with this color. You don't have to be very dark with it either. Again, these are mountains that are way off in the distance, so you don't want them real dark. Well, there's a mountain range for you. And next we're going to stamp our tree. We're going to go to Memento Tuxedo Black. This tree is just so beautiful. Makes such a great silhouette. So I'm just going to ink this up, and I'm inking it up like this so that I can see that I have every part of it inked up. Want it nice and dark. And now I just need to stamp my tree straight. Let's take it clear to the top here and over to the left. And I'm going to hold it down just to get a real nice impression. You could do this on a count of 5. And there's my tree. I think that's really pretty. Now we have this, you can either sponge this on, you can use a blending brush to put it on, but I'm just going to do direct to paper here to put my ground in. And I'm just going to use the short edge of this pad, and I'm going to have it at a tilt. So I have it tilted upwards here, and I'm just going to kind of use this and get it nice and dark here. There we go, and there's my ground. And there's our scene. It went in pretty quick, and I think I like that. So there we are. There's our mountain range going out into the distance. Now we're going to do our next panel. Now I'm going to adhere this to a basic white panel that is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just putting it on with my multi-purpose glue here. I'm going to add it about 1/8 of an inch from the right side of the panel. I'm going to give it a look to make sure it's pretty straight. Okay, so there we have that. Now I'm going to bring my Memento Tuxedo Black back out. I'm going to stamp this sentiment, and it's from that same stamp set from the Delicate Forest, and it says Sending Our Love. You could use any sentiment you like. It looks best with a sentiment that is just one line instead of multiple lines. So I'm just inking this up. I'm going to have to stand up to get this fairly straight. And I'm putting it here on the left side of my panel. And it's much easier to stamp it when you turn your cardstock that way than to try to stamp it up and down like this. Okay, so we have our sentiment in there. And now we're ready to get out a ruler here. And this is a simple little layout. This takes place of adding multiple layers of cardstock. So I'm going to use a fine point marker here. You can use about any fine point marker that you have in your arsenal. And I'm just going to kind of line this up with my grid pad. That kind of helps with the ruler thing going on. So 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going about 1/2 inch in. And I'm going to start about here. Now this is not an exact science, so I'm just bringing it in and then down. There's our first line. And my next one, I'm going to go out this direction with my ruler. And I'm kind of looking to see where that lettering is. And I want to come kind of straight out from that for my first point here. And I'm just going to take it down to that line and stop. So then we're going to turn it again, and I'm going to turn it all the way this way. It's easier for me to do it this way. And I'm just kind of lining things up. I like that. I kind of have it going halfway through that sentiment there. I'm adding a line up to that corner. And then I'm going to come down here and add some here. And then this last part here, I'm just going to take across and meet those 2 points. And there we have our rectangle put on there. It's really very easy. I probably made it seem a little harder than it actually is. But I love this design, and plus it's so flat in your envelope. So I'm just going to get out a Balmy Blue card base here. This is 5.5 by 8.5. And I folded it in half to create my quarter card. I just used my bone folder here to get that crease nice. I'm going to add this to the front. I'm going to center it up there. And there's the front of our card all done. Then we just have a basic white panel that I'm putting inside also. And I'll probably write in this. So I'm not putting a sentiment on the inside. I'm adding some love there with a heart. And just center this up in here. Just so it is, my card is balanced. I don't have a flimsy back to my card when I put that panel in. And there is our card for today. Here's my original. See how no two look alike. So here's my original, and thanks for joining me today. I hope you find this fun to create. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Toodles.